This is a very racist society. I mean, it's pretty shocking. What has happened in the last roughly 30 years with regard to African Americans actually is very similar to what Baptist describes in the late 19th century. Remember what happened. The constitutional amendments during and after the Civil War were supposed to free African American slaves. It did something for about 10 years. Then there was a North-South Compact, which essentially granted the former slave-owning states the right to do whatever they wanted. And what they did was criminalize black life in all kinds of ways. That created a kind of a slave force. In fact, one of the most interesting books on it, Douglas Blackman's, is called Worse Than Slavery or something like that. It threw mostly black males, but also women, into jail, where they become a perfect labor force, much better than slaves. If you're a slave owner, you have to you have to keep your capital alive. If the state does it for you, it's terrific. No strikes, no disobedience, perfect labor force. A lot of the American Industrial Revolution in the late 19th, early 20th century is based on that. Actually, it pretty much lasted until the Second World War, when there was a need for what's called free labor in the war industry. After that come about two decades in which African Americans had a kind of a shot at entering the society. A black worker get a job in an auto plant. The unions were still functioning, maybe buy a small house, send his kid to college or something. By the 1970s or 80s, it's going back to criminalization of black life. It's called the drug war, which is a racist war. Ronald Reagan was an extreme racist, didn't hide it. And the whole drug war, so-called, is designed from policing up to eventual release from prison to make it impossible for the black male community and more women and more Hispanics to be part of the society. In fact, if you look at American history, the first slaves came in 1619, half a millennium. There have been about 3 or 4 decades in which African Americans had a limited degree of freedom. You know, not entirely, but at least some. Now, of course, it's for black elites, there's some privileges, but I'm talking about the mass of the population, which has been recriminalized and incidentally also turned into a slave labor force. There's prison labor, for example. Well, this is American history. To break out of that is no small trick. In fact, if you take a look at the election, say the last election, in many ways it's a civil war of the red states of the Confederacy. It extends a little beyond, but that's pretty much what it is. Yeah. And of course, this is a real battle. These two founding crimes, slavery and extermination of the indigenous population, they're very much with us. Take a look at Indian reservations today. It's not a pretty sight.
Welcome back to another episode of Dumbass Nigga Podcast. Y'all already know the format, man. We just gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna take a bit of a different approach today. I know I'm always incorporating clips of other videos of trying to give people like a reference point to the things that I'm talking about, because I don't want motherfuckers to feel like I'm just coming on here just saying some shit, or I'm just giving you my opinions, or which I do give my opinions a lot, but for the most part I'm basing my opinions off of facts. And those reference videos that I put in are the facts, you know what I'm saying? Along with several things that I say to y'all. But today I want to take a bit of a different approach, because it seems like you niggas don't listen to somebody who looks like you, just trying to enlighten you on some shit that you've been manipulated into feeling like is the normal way. You won't listen to a nigga. Y'all only hang on the words of white people, the very motherfuckers that's responsible for the mind frame that we in today as a people, as a whole. Watching that video and listening to that man talk about the institution of jails in this country, how it was built what it was built off of and what the initial objective was. The funny thing about it is these videos that I make and the things that I say when I'm trying to reach my people, it's not the white folks that's coming to argue with me. It's niggas. And one of the main reasons why white folks ain't arguing with me is because white folks know it's the truth. These white folks know the deal. But see, they don't want you to know it. This is why when you see certain videos online, on social media, anywhere about trying to enlighten people of color, the comments that you do see from white folks be comments of trying to basically bunk what you saying and trying to make it bullshit, like you don't know what you talking about. But that's a part of their game. They don't want you niggas to be enlightened. They don't want you niggas to rise up. And you niggas make it easy for them. You participate with them in holding your ass down, holding your people down. Like, y'all participate in the shit. It's not the white folks that argue with me about what I'm saying. It's niggas. It's me trying to tell you niggas that y'all niggas are really free. And they done been putting the wool over our eyes for all these motherfucking years. And it'll be niggas to come in the comments and say, no, nigga, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. But for you white folks that do come in and making little snarky little comments, just like not too long ago, it was a white guy came in saying something about, cause I made the post, it was one of those street interviews. The guy asked the chick, you know what I'm saying, if you can get rid of anything in the world that you think will make it better, what would you get rid of? And I stated what I would get rid of.
Delete one thing from Earth that you think would make it better.
White folks. I ain't got to think about it. I don't get the fuck on about it. It's white people. And he came back and he commented, you know what I'm saying, it should be the black Americans because the culture is for shit. Well, for white folks like you, I'm gonna let you hear it from the mouth of your own kind. Cause I asked in that reply that I made to him, since our culture is so for shit, because you would know, because that's all y'all have done was been stealing people's culture. And I asked, what is y'all culture anyway? Do y'all have a culture outside of stealing and killing shit? Here's an answer for that.
It's gonna get me a lot of hate, but no, white Americans don't have culture. I am not exaggerating when I say every element of white culture has been stolen from people of color. That is why white people get so angry and jealous of minority groups, because they have cookouts, they have big and fun celebrations, they dance, they have amazing food. What do we have? We have processed meat. We don't use a lot of seasoning, right? Because I think a lot of people are scared of food being too ethnic. So it's often bland or overcooked. We have music, but a lot of the music that we listen to has actually been stolen from other cultures and people. Elvis, for example, or even country music, which was founded by black people. Oh, but a lot of white Americans are Christians and they celebrate Christmas. Right, but that was originally a pagan holiday. And Christians actually persecuted pagans for celebrating their religion, and now we stole that and Easter, and that's our culture. The craziest thing is when we do actually have celebrations, white families are often very so these celebrations are very small and exclusive. A lot of white people don't dance or they don't have rhythm. So there's really no way of bonding with new people or joining together in movement and community. And I genuinely believe that a lot of white people's racism stems from jealousy, 100%.
Let me just say, white people don't care if black people want to be left to their own devices. I promise you. It's so weird watching black people get mad at white people for starting functioning white communities. It's like, you know how happy we'd be to see black people start a functioning black community? Like, we would leave you to it. We would be, oh my goodness, good for you guys.
Wow, so not only are you dumb and uneducated and a bigot, you're also inefficient, because that was a lot of words to say. I'm a white supremacist and I'm okay with it. Let's talk about the history of white people just accepting black communities. 1873, Colfax, Louisiana. White mobs murdered 150 black men who were defending a Reconstruction era form of government, and it was a coup to seize political power away from black residents. 1898, Wilmington, North Carolina. White mobs overthrew the multiracial city government and then slaughtered dozens of black families and burned down their businesses. 1910, Slocum, Texas. White mobs attacked a prosperous black farming community out of racial and economic resentment, killed dozens, forced the survivors to flee, and stole their land. 1912, Forsyth County, Georgia. After a false rape allegation, white mobs terrorized and expelled all of the black residents, forcing those survivors to flee, and then seized their land and homes and redistributed it to a white community. And then in 1919 in Elaine, Arkansas, hundreds of black sharecroppers were murdered by white mobs and federal troops after they organized a union to demand fair wages. And in 1920 in OK, Florida, black citizens were massacred and their town was burned to the ground after they attempted to vote in a presidential election. And then in 1921 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, one of the wealthiest black communities that has ever existed was destroyed in a 2-day massacre where 35 blocks were destroyed and burned to the ground, and hundreds of black residents were killed. And then in 1923 in Rosewood, Florida, a self-sufficient black town was annihilated by white mobs after a false accusation, and survivors never could return. 1943 in Detroit, Michigan, racial tensions over housing and jobs, does that sound familiar, led to a deadly riot in which black neighborhoods were destroyed by law enforcement. And then in 1967, also in Detroit, Michigan, an uprising sparked by a police brutality incident was met with military force. They sicked the military on the black neighborhoods, killing 43 and accelerating the decline of black neighborhoods. And then in 1985, Philadelphia dropped a bomb on a black neighborhood because they had a black rights movement called MOVE in those houses. A peaceful liberation movement, and Philadelphia bombed it. And then you throw this little racist tidbit in there.
I would feel solidarity and pride with a 95% low crime, high productivity black city, or several in the United States.
Because the implication here is that black people shouldn't have their own neighborhoods because it'll be riddled with crime, even though that doesn't address over-policing and poverty, and there's no white neighborhood that has a 5% crime rate, even though you're trying to paint white people in this amazing good light. You're a white supremacist, because the rest of us white people who are pissed about whites-only residences are the people who aren't racist pieces of shit. You can't connect the dots if you don't know where the dots fucking are. Think before you speak.
And that ain't coming from me. You know what I'm saying? But the sad thing about it is, this information is coming from, like, niggas won't listen to shit unless it's coming from them. What he said about the jail system in this country, and basically what it is, which is evident, is evidently clear what it is and what the whole purpose of it is, especially when it's targeted towards a certain demographic of people of color. You heard what he said. You know, I'm not an African American, but he said African Americans and Hispanic, right? Okay. Think about what he said about the institutions, and then think about how many niggas that look at going to jail as an accomplishment, nigga.
Everybody was shocked by the amount of things that you got, but they also were wondering about, like, the rules of this. So for each different set that you guys beef with, you have to squab one of their members?
Yeah, they ain't no one of their members. Niggas squab. If they got 3 of their homies in there from the same set, squab all 3 of them niggas. If it's 5 niggas, you squab every nigga in there that beef with y'all. Say this nigga got 3 homies in there from his hood, right? You don't get them no pass, and you squabble one of them, squabble all of them. You squabble all the niggas. Don't never run into a because look, nowadays lie. You will run into you will give a pass, and the first thing a nigga say is, oh, that nigga wasn't tripping. I seen him. I talked to him. That nigga wasn't tripping. Don't give that nigga no pass. Sock him out. And if that nigga say he don't want to fight, humiliate that nigga. That's what I do. Off the back, I humiliate your ass, nigga. You're not about to walk past me on 4-0, nigga, and get a pass, nigga. Because you ain't about to be saying, oh, I was with 4 extras. Oh, you wasn't tripping. You know what I'm talking about? We talking to you. Nah. All that. Vernon Avenue. Go to the back. Off the back.
This is the manipulation. Look how many motherfuckers go to jail and treat jail like it's a stamp, nigga. Like these are stripes on your shoulders. This is something to be proud of. And then they feed it to the public, and it just recycles the stupidity over and over again. Even down to had shows that I heard several people out talking about some, man, Orange is the New Black, that's my shit. You can't read between them lines, even in the title. You can't read between the lines. Orange is the New Black. Why you think he called it that? Niggas go to jail and brag about it. Being in that orange jumpsuit is the new black. Because when you go to jail to niggas, oh, you a real nigga now. You a real nigga now. You done let these white folks put their thumb on your motherfucking ass. You a real nigga now. All the orange is the new black. And look how many niggas co-signing. Look how many niggas co-signing. So-called celebrities, whatever, especially niggas. Oh, you've already reached something that's an accomplishment. Especially a lot of these niggas coming from whatever they came from to get to a position of where they can have a certain amount of money or have a certain amount of success to take yourself away from a certain level of a certain type of stress. Because, I mean, money, you still going to be stressed out even with money. It's just going to be different type of problems. You know what I'm saying? You going to have nigga with money problems opposed to having broke nigga problems. You still gonna have problems, just two different types of problems. But for a person to elevate themselves out of a certain type of circumstance to get to a better circumstance and still walk around like he wanna be here. You got a career that's done landed you millions of dollars. Deals, nigga. Partnership deals. Motherfuckers wanna do sponsorship deals. Clothing deals, alcohol, liquor deals, like shoe deals, all these deals, and niggas want to still live like they circumstances ain't shit. Oh, why is that? Oh, you go fuck around, catch a case, you come back, nigga, you gonna have the world in your hands, nigga. Your music gonna skyrocket, all this shit, so you get an accomplishment out of being locked the fuck up. Motherfuckers want to mimic that shit. Since when is it cool for a straight man to be enthusiastic about being in a place locked up around a whole bunch of other niggas? I'm trying to figure out at what point did that become like the target thing to do. I won't go to jail, nigga. I'll be a real nigga then. The shit that they set up for us to be in the circumstances that we in. Did you hear what that man said? At a certain point, black Americans had a slither of a chance of being in society. Oh, that slither. That small chance niggas get from the enemy. Enemy gave you this small window of opportunity, and niggas will look at each other like, nigga, you beneath me, nigga. These white folks don't let me in, nigga. So now we don't deal with the same issues. All of a sudden, you become invisible to the bullshit, or the bullshit has become invisible to you because of that small little chance that we get, and then we start treating each other the same way that they treat us. Since you niggas can't seem to take the words from your own kind, this video is about letting you hear from the mouths of white folks. Cause the white folks tell you the same shit that I've been telling you. Maybe you niggas will listen. But for the life of me, what I don't understand is, how can the writing be this clear on the walls and you niggas are still laying down for the shit? That's the $74 million question right there. How the fuck can this shit be so obvious? Not only obviously hidden in the open for you, but coming out the mouths of motherfuckers that's playing the games and handling the puppets. Is coming out telling you what the deal is. And niggas are still, oh, we need to go and vote. What the fuck is you niggas not understanding? How many examples do we need from the so-called law enforcement to put in front of us? How many examples do we need before we realize what the deal is? Niggas is getting shot and killed by the police that they call themselves. But this is the system that's gonna protect them. Ain't gonna protect you. even though you got the right to protect yourself against them, they come out and shoot a nigga for tying his motherfucking shoe up. Nigga won't see a day motherfucking in jail, but let a motherfucker try to retaliate for that shit. Or let a motherfucker stand his ground against the police and blow one of these motherfuckers' ass off. Oh man, they gonna try to make sure this nigga don't never see the light of fucking day again. But this is still a system that you niggas say, hey, this the way it is, and we gotta figure out a way. No, nigga. It's not trying to figure out nothing in this shit. It's either come together and formulate a plan to combat it, or you just gonna lay down like the bitches that y'all been laying down being. That's the bottom line. And it's that simple. You remember that video that I posted of the female coming out talking about how black women don't want black men now because black women got everything now, so there ain't no need we don't need you niggas now, shit like that.
The gag is we don't want y'all no more. That's the point of the video. That old school saying applied when y'all were providers, okay? We were taught at a young age to secure a family and a husband for stability only. Please don't think women's primary goal is to have a man and have a family. That is back in the day when you guys were head of household. However, now we are head of household.
Remember why I told you that whole shit, where that whole shit started from? Oh, I guess you didn't listen because it was coming from me. Well, let me let you hear it from the mouth of white men.
Now let's go back to American black culture back like 1950s, 1960s. They had very low divorce rates. They all dressed really nice. They were all polite and everything like that, you know?
When did I say that shit started? In the 50s, right? When did this man just say the whole family dynamic for black folks changed? That same time period, right? To be here in 2025, to see how many black women are so down with that motherfucking program, that not only that, it's embedded in their mind frame. They have daughters and teach their daughters that shit. They have so much hatred for themselves and the men of their own color to where they have sons and mistreat their sons. It's almost like the hatred for ourselves was passed down like high blood pressure, not like in our DNA almost. From a seed planted by an enemy that had nothing to do with your blood, with your bloodstream, your bloodline. It was something that was put into their heads by word of mouth, and something that was passed down by fear of a people that you should not even be scared of. What you should be scared of is the lack of knowledge that you have. What you should be scared of is the amount of resources that they have attained from taken from us and coming together within themselves to keep this shit going. But you niggas y'all don't peep game. One of my favorite books ever to read was Art of War. And one of the first rules of that is to know your enemy. Well, they know us in and out, not because of any other reason outside of the fact that they have put us in this bubble and they have programmed our minds. So they know what the fuck that we gonna do. They know how we gonna think, and they know what to do to trigger us, because to them, we are mice in a motherfucking trap, nigga. We in the maze.
Wait a minute. I thought Project 2025 was some shit, but now they got something called Project Esther. This was written by the Heritage Foundation, okay? And one of the things that's on there is all children will be homeschooled via religion, right? And anybody who resists, they have re-education camps to repurpose your brain to make you compliant. I probably should have saved this for White History Wednesday, because what? Re-education camps? Are you kidding?
And they playing the game. They putting the cheese out. And then when you niggas see a mouse on the outside of the maze telling y'all niggas, hey man, come this motherfucking way. No, man, we ain't listening to you, man. The white man got the cheese over there. We finna have to keep on going through this shit to go to. But no, if we came together, we can get out and take all the cheese, nigga. The fact that every damn near nationality of people can come together to stand against the tyrant and the tirades of these people. But us. And when niggas try to enlighten each other, niggas do what they know best. Hate niggas even more. We gonna fight each other even more. Why? I was talking to a female not too long ago. I was talking to me about her kids and I'm sitting there listening to her. As I'm listening to her, I'm hearing all of the credit that she has given the people who have created these confines to where the situation is the way it is with her. You know what I'm saying? And when I was, everything that I mentioned or everything that I brought up or suggested to her, it was like, oh, well, whatever. And I remember I asked her one thing. I was like, well, why is it hard for you to do things the natural way instead of like hanging on the doctrine and the diagnosis and the whatever from the white man? Like that's the only, like his knowledge is the only knowledge in the world. And she looked at me with a straight face and said, I mean, is there any other knowledge? This is 2025 and I'm talking to a black woman. I couldn't do nothing but just stare at her for a minute. I couldn't do nothing but just stare at her. It's hard for me to be around people like that. We in a world full of it. I got a neighbor that keep on harboring these old Unabomber looking ass white folks in her motherfucking apartment. And they done told this bitch, quit doing it. You know what I'm saying? She'll let a nigga shack up in her motherfucking shit and it ain't none of my business. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the day, but then at nighttime she'll have a nigga sleeping in the laundry room. You know what I'm saying? Now, I got PTSD. You know what I'm saying? Like I done been through some things to where I'm easily triggered. So that's why I kind of stay away from people. You know what I'm saying? But to see the stupidity, you know what I'm saying? They flopping in her shit. While this bitch finna get evicted, they gonna have somewhere else to go. This bitch ain't gonna have nowhere to go. But it's always us that's being abnormally friendly to these motherfuckers that would not do the same for us.
Black power! Hey, I still love y'all. I still love you.
But when you see your own coming, nigga, we can't fuck helping each other. We can't even nod at each other. Like, we can't even give each other a friendly nod. Fuck giving a nigga a couch to sleep on. Black men and women can't even walk past each other and just say, hey, how you doing? Without a bitch looking at a nigga like he done already got the pussy and not called ass no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's automatic hatred towards each other, but it was programmed. We've been programmed to hate ourselves. And it's the sad thing about it is nothing keeping us inside this program outside of us. We are the only thing that's keeping us locked in that program. What is it gonna take? I keep on asking. What is it gonna take for you niggas to understand that you are all children of the Most High, the creator of all things? Not only that, it's already within you. And y'all letting men that are beneath us dictate how we live our lives. People say it ain't about race. What fucking world you living in? Motherfuckers say it ain't about control. What fucking world you living in? Motherfuckers, oh, they ain't brainwash us. What fucking world you living in? Motherfuckers don't need no MK Ultras or no kind of old high-tech shit to brainwash niggas. I was asking same chick, you know what I'm saying, about homeschooling, right? I said, well, why don't you just homeschool your kids anyway, though? Like, now, this is a motherfucker who works from home, right? Works from home. I don't got the time. Don't you work from home? Yeah, but I ain't got time for all that. Plus, I'm in school, too. Oh, okay. You in school at home? Yeah. So, you work at home, you go to school at home. The only thing you leaving home for is to either pick your kids up or drop your motherfuckers off. Everything else is in the home. You ain't got time to teach your kids some shit that they need to be knowing outside of the shit that they being programmed to know. Ain't nobody got time for all that. Ain't nobody got time. So you've gotten to the point to where you have been made aware of the shit that they lied to us about in school. Got 3 of these some bitches of your own. And you leave it all in the white man's hand to do whatever the fuck you feel like you too lazy to do. You don't feel like doing. So I said this to her. I said, that's funny. If the white man tells your ass y'all had to homeschool them motherfuckers, your ass be all for it though, right? Oh, they already tried that shit when COVID hit. That shit was hard as hell, but I did it though. On your own, you can't enrich your kids. You can't teach your own kids the truths that they've been lied about in school, that we've been lied about in school. You can't do it because they ain't got no time for this shit. But if the white man tell you niggas to do this shit, it's no problem. No problem. There's something wrong with that. There's something seriously wrong with that. I was talking to a partner of mine, man, and he said, man, you know, when the student is ready to learn, the teacher will appear. And he said, these niggas ain't ready to learn shit, folks. Let these niggas stay dumb. It's hard for me to do. It's hard for me to keep walking away, or for me to walk away, like for real, to turn around and still see so many niggas that's in this twilight zone. But I understand what he means. Because it's frustrating. Even with my neighbor, to see this bitch, and she let these white folk talk to her all kind of crazy. Just stand there looking stupid. These motherfuckers is flopping in your shit. I just went through a trial, a court trial, where the so-called detective got on stand and basically admitted to getting paid for absolutely nothing because she didn't do her job. And she said she felt like it wasn't necessary for her to do her job, but she locked me up for some shit, right? It shouldn't have been no reason in the world that she was able to walk out of there with her badge. She should have been fired on the spot. But it's their system. This is what it was created for. To keep us down. To make it hard. And to keep it hard for us. But it's sad how many of you niggas are willing to live your life like that until you die. Opposed to coming together and creating some real life circumstances for yourself. Instead of the circumstances created for you by people who hate you. Y'all comfortable with that system. Y'all cool with that system. Not only that, y'all want to be a part of that system. Oh, you done reached the top maximum achievement in the world, right? Knowing you still being underpaid, nigga. You still getting looked at as less than. Knowing 9 times out of 10, 7 times out of 4, you probably more qualified than anybody walking around that bitch. But the little change they gave, oh, that's good enough for you niggas. It's good enough for me. I'm rubbing elbows with these racist son bitches. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long because, like, I'm running out of words for you niggas. I'm running out of words for you niggas. But I'm gonna leave y'all with the words of Tupac. The lifestyle that you living got you taking more fucking shorts than getting props. Then that lifestyle need to stop. Best to recognize this outlaw shit, nigga. Only in this outlaw lifestyle can you truly come to and see what this life's supposed to be like. Nigga, you start to see riches, fine bitches, and hitting switches, nigga. To me, that shit sound delicious. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna go ahead and wrap this one on up, man. Y'all already know the deal. If you've been watching, I appreciate it. Come on back. Stay tuned in. If you haven't and you just stopped in today, man, come on back, man, and tune in for real, man, because we got more to come. Come back and fuck with your boy. Man.